Hey, good afternoon. This is Mike Sasser, your host of the Health Hour, and welcome to another Wednesday, 1 p.m. That's the time that we do the Health Hour here on Lone Star Community Radio. And I tell you what, I was out of the studio last week. I was out of town and doing a conference up in Dallas, and I get back, and every time I come in here, Dick, you've got new stuff laying around. The table's all here. We got cables everywhere. What am I talking about? We are getting ready to go FM, folks, and I'm talking about in days, from what I understand. You'll be able to listen to us on FM 104.5 as well as FM 106.1 right here in Conroe, Texas, and surrounding areas. But, the cool part is we are on the internet. So today, if you're listening, you're listening on irlongstar.com. Cool thing about that is, hey, you can listen anywhere there is internet. So welcome to the show. I'm glad you could join us today. It's a pretty day here in Conroe. By the way, it's a live show. We're here live in the studio. It's a beautiful day out there today. A little warm, a little muggy, but cooling down some. I think we have a cold front. Well, here in Texas, we call it a cold front, but I believe I saw where it's supposed to be like in the 40s, mid-40s coming up this weekend. So, for us, that's cold. So cooling down. We are in November. Can't believe that. I don't know where the year has gone. It's November is upon us. The holidays are upon us. I mean, next thing you know, we've got Thanksgiving, and then Christmas rolls around. I was in Walmart the other day and walking through, and actually this was a couple of weeks ago now. A couple of weeks ago, before Halloween, and the whole garden center of Walmart is already Christmas. Everything Christmas. Can't believe it. And this was before Halloween. So we're getting there, folks. We're getting to the holidays, all right? Speaking of, this coming Sunday is Fall Back Sunday, okay? That means we're turning our clocks back. You're going to gain an hour's sleep. We'll always start with the good news, okay? The bad news is it's going to be getting dark at about 5:30 in the afternoon. And, some of us, that's okay. Some of us, don't really like that. I tend to like it to stay daylight as long as possible. So anyway, this coming Sunday, be sure to remember, set your clocks back an hour, okay? Just so you can make it to work on Monday morning on time with the rest of the world. So that's what's going on. And another thing that I felt that was pretty interesting, and this is kind of along the lines of what I do, is this is the National Obesity Care Week. Okay, and we're talking about the Health Hour, and I'm a local author here. I wrote a book, Simple, Inexpensive, and Painless Weight Loss. I try to help people lose weight and live a healthier lifestyle. That's what I'm all about. That's what the show is all about, sharing information with you guys out there in the community. So Obesity Care Week, if you'd like to find out some information, there's a lot of resources and information about this. It's actually a disease now, and I knew the number was high, but in America, there's now 65% of Americans that are considered overweight or are obese. And if you want to learn more about this, learn more about the treatment and other information out there, go to a website. Again, the internet is a beautiful thing. The website is www.obesitycare.org. That's org.org. And it has a lot of information on there that maybe you yourself or somebody you know that is interested in this information, or maybe could use some help in this area. Send them to that website, and I tell you what, I'll put that website on my website as well, so you can find it. And by the way, that reminds me, if you want to be a part of the show or send me a question or comment during the show, after the show, whenever you can do that by going to MikeSasser.com. That's MikeSasser.com. I have a contact Mike link there, or page, if you will. You can email me You can find me on Facebook. Yes, I am on Facebook. You can also find me on Twitter. You can tweet me a question or comment, and I will get back to you. So let me know what you think about the show. Let me know maybe what you would like to see or hear on the show. And one other reminder is our shows are recorded, so you can catch the podcast. You can also catch the podcast of all the shows. Go to the archives on irlongstar.com as well as my website, and that way you can listen to the podcast anytime you like. You might want to listen to them in your PJs, on Saturday night, Sunday afternoon, whenever it's good for you. The Health Hour, good for you is good for me. Okay, so what do I have coming up on today's show? Well, I'm proud to say that I have a special guest. She'll be calling in, and her name is Tabitha Lenox, and she is with Masters of Dietetics, in the Woodlands. And she's going to be talking to us today about, and boy, this is so timely as well. She is a registered dietitian, by the way, and she's going to be talking to us about how to manage food cravings, and she's going to share tips with us on holiday eating, because I know for a fact I usually go home, and my mom is a big cook. I'm talking like the whole spread, the turkey, the dressing, and everything else you can imagine, pecan pies and all of that. And I just indulge. I can't help myself. I indulge. That's why I wrote a weight loss book, because I've been struggling with my weight all of my life. So Tabitha is going to be on coming up in the next segment, and we'll be talking about that. Okay. I'm sure she has a lot of great information to share with you. And then we'll get to our weekly segment of restaurant reports. Again, I was out last week, so I have 2 weeks worth of reports to share with you. And I'm going to tell you about the restaurants that are doing a great job here in Montgomery County and who have scored 100% on their restaurant reports, or their safety inspections, their health inspections, if you will, when the inspectors go out and inspect them. So I'll be sharing that with you. Maybe your favorite restaurant is on that list this week. We'll see. All right. And then H.E.B. is the grocery store I'm featuring this week with the weekly grocery ads. I'm going to take a look and see what H.E.B. has on sale this week. And that's just started today to go through next Tuesday. We'll find out what H.E.B. has on sale. That is maybe some healthy choices for you and your family. So that's what we're talking about on the Health Hour today. And, the Health Hour is an hour of health news for healthy living right here in Montgomery County and all surrounding areas. Anywhere you're listening out there, just great to have you tuning into the show today. And be sure and tell your friends and your family to share the link. Let them know we're going to be on FM here in just a matter of days, from what I understand, and listen to the Health Hour as well as many of the other great shows here on Community Lone Star Radio. So with that, we're going to jump into our first little break here, and when I come back, I'm going to have Tabitha on the line, and we'll talk about some good healthy eating. So come on back to the Health Hour.
Lone Star Community Radio is Montgomery County's community radio station, and we are looking for talk show hosts and volunteer DJs for our music shows. Are you interested in having your own talk show on Lone Star, or have you always wanted to live out your dreams of being a music DJ? With the addition of Conroe's FM 104.5 and 106.1 and video aspects of our talk shows, we are needing people to grow with us. If you or someone you know might be interested, please contact us online at irlonestar.com/contact us, or call the station at 936-647-5747 for more information.
Hey, I'm Mike Sasser, and welcome back to the Health Hour right here on Lone Star Community Radio. It's your hour of health news for a healthy lifestyle every Wednesday at 1 p.m. All right, and appreciate you tuning in today. It's again, it's a beautiful day here in Conroe. Looking out the weather-wise, nice out there. Downtown Conroe, great place to be. Just had the big Cajun Catfish Festival a couple weeks ago. Already gearing up for the holiday season and things like that. It's just, it's really cool, very cool. And we are gearing up to be FM coming in just days from now. You'll be able to hear us on FM 104.5 as well as 106.1. All right, which is so cool, as well as the internet. We'll still be on the internet, which means you can listen anywhere. Literally anywhere in the world there is internet. So, all right, loving that. I am loving that. Okay. Speaking of, I have a very special guest on the show today, and this is Tabitha Lenox. Okay, and Tabitha, are you there?
Mike, I am here, and thank you for inviting me to the show.
Guess what? I can hear you.
Awesome.
yes. We have Tabitha patched in here to the station, which is so cool. And so, Tabitha, you are with the Masters of Dietetics in the Woodlands. That's correct? Am I pronouncing all that right?
That is correct. Masters in Dietetics is here in the Woodlands, Texas. It's nice here. It's a nice day, and I'm happy to be here on your show.
Oh, fantastic. We are happy to have you, as well as I'm sure the community out there. A lot of things to share with them. And I tell you, Tabitha, I'm looking at, I have your website pulled up and everything, but first off, let's just start by learning a little bit about you. And it's almost going to take me probably almost the hour to rattle off all these what you have behind your name here, but you're MS, R.D.N, and L.D, Registered Dietitian and Nutritionist. So what is all of that, Tabitha? I mean, that's huge. That's important, right?
Yes, it is. It's important. So I have a Master's of Science in Dietetics, which is different from nutrition. It's the study of nutrition applied to humans. You know, we have nutrition degrees, and then we have dietetics degrees. And so I got the dietetics degree where we focus on humans and how humans relate with food instead of just animals.
That would be us.
So, yes. And then the Registered Dietitian Nutritionist. So, again, we're the ones that are the medical providers of medical nutrition therapy. And the licensed dietitian in the state of Texas, you have to have a licensed dietitian in order to practice nutrition. So that's what we are.
Wow, Tabitha, that is fantastic. That's a lot of degrees and knowledge there. And I'm just so happy to have you on the show today and taking time out to be here with us, you know.
Thank you. Yeah, and I'm also working on another degree, which is Doctor of Clinical Nutrition. So it's a long story, but I'm glad to be here, and thank you for the invite.
You are welcome. You are a busy lady. So tell me about the Masters of Dietetics. Okay, you're located in the Woodlands, and like I say, it's the website here, and just I'll go ahead and put this out, as well as I'll put it on my my webpage, and we'll have it in the podcast and everything. People get in touch with you. But www.mastersindietetics.com. That's easy enough. It's the name, basically.
Yeah, it's pretty much the name of the business. You can find us anywhere on Facebook or online. Our website, we have a great website that lets everyone know about what's upcoming events or what's happening. If I'm doing research, obviously it'll pop up on Facebook and Twitter, so we try to keep everyone in the loop with all of the website. And
yeah, it's fantastic. And like I said, I'm looking at the website right now. Again, you have Twitter, you have Facebook, email is all right there on your website and everything. A lot of ways people can get in touch with you. So tell me, first off, I believe I saw this, but tell me a little bit about Masters in Dietetics. You guys started or opened for business in 2007, Tabitha?
Yes, we've been practicing for a little while, and here in the Woodlands area and the greater North Houston surrounding area. And we have patients who have diabetes, high blood pressure, cholesterol, obesity, even anorexia or eating disorders and disordered eating. We help people get a better relationship with food with whatever situation they need. So we even help people with allergies, food intolerances, to find the foods that they can actually eat so they can be healthy, and again, developing a better relationship with food. That's our main goal, is to help people learn how to eat. And it's not a diet. You know, I could name off a laundry list of different diets that people have the option to go to. So many websites, so much information, but a lot of times my patients come into the office with confusion
Right.
Just with all of the info out there,
Sure.
And it's like, what is for me? And so that's what's really nice about Masters in Dietetics. And the name of the company is not really because I have a Master's of Science in Dietetics, but more that the people that come into the office,
Yes.
they master their own dietetics. So the Masters in Dietetics are the patients, actually. So they're the Masters in Dietetics, if you can see the kind of play on words. They master their own dietetics.
Okay. Well, so you work with individuals, and the one thing I like about that is, again, there is so much out there on the internet. It can be confusing, number one, and then you're talking about food, and I did quite a bit of research and agree with you 100%. There are a lot of foods that can help or assist people with some of these issues, so you can take a natural approach, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
So
For sure, there's a huge connection with a lot of the conditions that I just mentioned, with diabetes, high blood pressure, cholesterol, even cancer. That food can play such a good role, and not only, we can't say food heals the body, but it can really make the process better. Right.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely.
So a lot of times patients get off their medications. We don't take them. As a dietitian, don't take people off their medications. The doctors do, as a result of our program. But isn't that great that we can expect or anticipate possibly being able to having better symptoms, results from just applying practical nutrition to our own lives and our situation, specific for the individual.
Absolutely, Tabitha, and yeah, I guess let's throw that big disclaimer out here. Let's say, do not go, don't stop taking your medication without consulting your doctor. But what we're getting at is
Exactly.
there are a lot of foods that can help you with these type of issues in your life, and consult your doctor, talk to your doctor, let them know, see Tabitha and them out there, and get some help with this, and then because there are stories out there, and I'm one of them, Tabitha, where at one time I was a very heavy set guy, and my doctor was putting me on blood pressure medication, high cholesterol medication. Well, through nutrition and really working on myself, I've been able to shed that. So again, don't do that without your doctor's approval. But
Exactly.
But it is possible.
Exactly.
So,
The
fantastic.
possibility is endless. And like you said, just from your personal testimony, that really encourages a lot of people that, sometimes we get into the mindset that I've just got this bad, diagnosis. Hey, the diagnosis is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And you might not ever get off your medications. The medications are there for your health, and they, help. But when that become not really helpful anymore because the doctor says, hey, you've actually lost 10% of your current body weight, and that has been shown to reduce your need for this medication, then they will take you off. And I always give that disclaimer, like you're saying, don't try this at home. Always talk to your doctor ahead of time. And even me as a dietitian, as the healthcare authority and the provider for nutrition information, we always, are part of that medical team, and the medical doctor is the head of that team, and we always give that respect and authority to the doctor, and we work very well and close with the medical doctor to help the patient reach the optimal health that they possibly can.
That's awesome, Tabitha. Great. I see. You have a lot of services there and everything, but we are. I tell you what, managing food cravings is one thing we'd like to talk about. So you can tell us a little bit about the services you have, or if you'd like, we'll jump right into how do we manage these cravings? Because especially this time of year, again, we're coming up on Thanksgiving. Again, personal stories, personal experience. My mom is a big cook. I come from Louisiana, and I mean, she just loads the table up with, everything. Look, one pie, one cake is not enough. I mean, there's just tons of sweets and everything else. So, okay, you can help me out here as well. How do we begin to manage these food cravings that, especially this time of year?
Well, you hit the nail on the head, Mike. What do we have? This big meal. My mom made it. I'm in Texas. She's in Louisiana. I finally, get to see her finally, and she made this all for me. 5 cakes and different pies and my favorite, meats and.
Okay,
maybe there's one vegetable, right?
Are you sure you haven't been to my mom's for Thanksgiving? I mean, you're describing it to a T.
I'm kind of seeing a couple of homes for Thanksgiving, right?
Exactly.
But what happens is we get so emotional, and that's one thing. Again, if we were robots, we would probably all be able to handle these food cravings very easily.
Mm-hmm.
Turn the switch and say, okay, it's just Thanksgiving. Let me just go over here and eat the amount of food and not have any emotions with it.
Right.
When we get into those emotions popping out, it's harder to stick to your Fitbit that you've been working on and the MyFitnessPal and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But if you can keep a few of these key ideas in place while we're out there,
yes,
then you can have more success. So one, try not to save up for that meal. You know what I mean? She says you're going to eat it too, right?
Yeah.
It's going to be everything. You woke up at 8. You probably leaving from the hotel, or you're going to save up, right? Don't do that. Go ahead and eat your 3 meals that you would have usually eaten. Just allow that Thanksgiving meal or that Christmas meal be a part of the regular times of meal that you've been eating all along, all this year.
That's a good point, because if you start skipping meals or say starve yourself, as you say, save up for this big meal, that is a opportunity to binge eat more. I mean, so good advice.
That's that's the clue. It doesn't matter if it's just one day. We have to take out of our mind that it's, this is Thanksgiving, or this is the weekend, or this is the holiday meal that we're going to eat, and it's just one day. I'm going to just save up for this one meal. I'm sorry that one meal will throw off your whole genetic response to your nutrition food.
Right.
Yeah.
So
what I'm saying is...
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, what I'm saying is, so basically, overeating one meal can affect you for days after that meal. It's not just, okay, go eat this huge meal, work, sleep it off, drink enough water the next day, run it off, and you're fine. That's not how the body works. Okay,
so there's a chain reaction, if you will, or it can linger for days then.
Yes. This comes from Dr. Rosen in the Cleveland Clinic, and who does genetic research on the human response, genetic response to food. And basically, when we overeat and indulge one time for one meal in 1 4-hour period, actually, the response of inflammation is actually turned on for 3 days, 72 hours.
Wow, okay.
Okay, so if you have a genetic response for diabetes, high blood pressure, cholesterol, then, there's a long gone are the days of, okay, I have a cheat day. Okay, I'm going to just save up for this one meal, go ahead and eat all one at this time. Mm-hmm. And I'll just work it off or starve the next day or something like that. That is gone, because now the Human Genome Project and with the genetic research we have available, we're seeing that those gene expressions are turned on for 72 hours.
My goodness. Okay, well, that explains it.
Yep. So that's why you can gain 5 pounds in 2 weeks.
Yeah. Try 2 days at my mom's house.
2 days. Yeah.
Well, that never crossed my mind, but it makes sense, because let's say you are on a fairly good diet and, eating well, and then you go and you have this big, large meal, which you indulge, and a lot of people do. It can throw your body off for the next couple days, 3 days or so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so we've seen that with genetic research, that it doesn't just throw you off feeling-wise, it's actually doing something on the cellular level in the body.
Wow. Okay.
So that's the first thing. We have to eat consistently and not try to save up our meals throughout the day.
Fantastic. Okay. Good.
Another one.
Yeah.
Another idea would be, hey, let's stop calling out bad foods. There's no such thing as a bad food.
Right.
If we label food as bad or forbidden, like all throughout the year, I can't believe I'm eating pie. I would never eat a pie.
Mm-hmm.
And you know that, yes, you do like pie, and pie is like something that you would eat. Don't just label it as a food that's forbidden or bad. Say that it's a food that I have to eat in the portions or in moderation, that I don't eat every day, that I will eat on occasion, and not call it as a something forbidden, because then it makes you feel like when it's on the table and it's actually there, oh, what am I going to do? I'm just going to go ahead and eat it. Now that I'm eating it,
mm-hmm.
may as well get as much as I want of it and overeat it.
Right.
And here I am, back at stage one, overeating and overconsumption.
True. Hey, I have a story about that, but I'll tell you what.
Tell me about it.
Well, we need to take a break here.
Okay.
Can you hang out with me just a little bit more? And I've got some more questions. I'm sure you have a few more tips to go. And we'll pay some bills around here and be right back. Tabitha? Okay, good. Right. Well, hey, come on back to the Health Hour. We'll be right back.
We're starting to film our talk shows and putting them on YouTube. Your favorite Lone Star Community Radio show can be seen on YouTube under our Lone Star Community Radio channel and on City of Conroe's Our City TV channel on Suddenlink Channel 12. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel to see the most recently released videos and find more information online at irlonestar.com/TV.
Hey, welcome back to the Health Hour. I'm Mike Sasser, your host of the Health Hour every Wednesday at 1 p.m. right here on Lone Star Community Radio out of downtown Conroe. We are here live in the studio today, and you can catch us on the internet at www.irlonestar.com. Coming soon, you'll be able to catch us on FM 104.5 or 106.1. I'm talking about in days, from what I'm hearing. That is really cool. And you can catch the podcast. Also, every show is recorded and taped and put up for you to listen at your convenience anytime, day or night. Got a great show going for you today. I actually have a guest on the show, a very special guest, Tabitha Lenox with Masters in Dietetics out of the Woodlands. Tabitha, you were still with me there?
I'm here, Mike.
There you are. Okay. Okay. Again, thank you so much for being on the show. And we are talking today about something that is so timely coming up into the holidays, Thanksgiving and Christmas, and just these big meals, these, holiday parties and things like that. And we're talking about tips on holiday eating and ways to manage food cravings today. And I told you I was going to share a story with you just before the break. Are you ready? We were talking about these cakes and pies and things like that.
I'm ready.
Okay, well,
I'm ready for you.
True story, and you are just right on. Okay, because we have these pies and cakes and all these sweets and stuff, and we're talking about overeating and indulging, and so that happens in my family. I'm sure it happens for a lot of people out there in the community, but we actually get this thought where it's like, okay, you know what? If we just go ahead and eat this whole pie or eat this whole cake, just go ahead and get rid of it, and then it'll be done. We won't have to, it won't be there anymore. Do you ever run across that, or have people? Does that fall in the binge eating category, or certainly it falls into the managing food cravings?
Oh yes, it's all going back to that this is my one day. This is my one cheat day. And you know what happened, Mike? That comes from, probably maybe way back down the line. But, in 2005, there was an actual diet called the Cheater's Diet where once a week you get a cheat day or cheat days. Now they're cheat days. But it's still applying towards this. This is my one day that I can only eat. Now I'll like you're saying, I'm going to finish all of this pie today. So it's out of sight, out of mind. It's gone. It's history.
Yeah, some people just kind of go crazy, that day, and like you were saying, you were finding out that is not good for the body at all.
Exactly. It's pro-inflammatory. It's not being proactive. It's not a healthy thing to do. In a way, it's like, okay, we're doing this for the greater good. We're sacrificing one day for the health of the rest of the year.
Right.
But sorry, that behavior pattern doesn't just happen just one day, I promise you. If you do it this one day, it's going to be one day every other month. Look, Mike, the holidays started, Labor Day, you had your Labor Day. Well, before Labor Day, you had 4th of July. Now you have Halloween was just now, and then you're going to have probably two Thanksgiving feasts this month. One for school and one for home, and then oh man, when December comes around, you'll have something every week.
Yeah,
and then you'll have your whole. And so it's just that one day for the week, and then we're wondering why we're trying to make a resolution in January, just to wait until February for Valentine's Day to come by.
That's right. And start all over again, right?
All over again.
By the time that most people have forgotten about their New Year's resolution anyway.
Yes.
So awesome information, right. Tabitha. What else do you have for us as far as these managing food cravings and just overall holiday eating? Again, I can go on with stories, but I want to hear some more of the tips that you have.
I love your stories, and I wonder if one can match with this one too. So how about this? Instead of saying control, I'm going to control this thing. When the next Christmas party comes around, when the next Thanksgiving party, I'm going to control myself. Mm-hmm. I know I can do this. I'm going to control myself, and I'm going to make sure that I just do not, I don't eat this and I don't eat that, and really putting a negative, term to it. Mm-hmm. The mission is to, instead of controlling it, let's manage it.
Yeah, there you go.
You said it the best way. You're managing it.
Right.
It's not about it's about what you can eat and how you're going to eat it, your choices. Mm-hmm. What do you choose to do? And instead of making it such a legalistic thing, something that's very, hard and difficult to do, and it's like the difference between a hill and a cliff.
Sure.
You can manage a hill. A cliff is kind of hard, and if you fall, you kind of fall far, and you fall hard.
True.
On a hill, you fall, you can roll a little bit and get back up and keep moving along. You don't go too far away.
Yeah.
So you can manage this thing.
So a little play on words. Say manage versus control.
Yes.
I like it. I like it. Yeah. I see what you're talking about.
That's awesome. So a little way to do that is to find out where the weak spots are, by really practicing ahead of time. What are some things that you might be weak? Is it only the sweets, Mike? Is it, is the person having a hard time managing caffeine and coffee or dairy, or, is it craving fat or sugar? What is it?
Right. Identify that.
Identify that. And from there, there are actually different foods that you can eat more of that reduce the cravings of whatever that is, whether it's coffee craving, salt craving, dairy, ice cream-ish craving, kind of thing, sugar craving.
Okay, and you can help people with all of that.
Yes, yes, and it's obvious. It's individualized. Some people will come in and they'll say, "Hey, the sweets. I'm not a sweet person, but if you put a lasagna in front of me, man, it's gone. The whole pan."
Right.
And so, help me with managing this craving. I can go and eat a whole pizza. So not all the time is a person only craving sugars.
Sure.
How, but I can help them with managing that as well. But maybe it's the Starbucks every day, 3-4 times a day.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, I just named a company. I didn't mean to say. I mean to say just
okay.
coffee
That's all right.
all day
the coffee
long.
house coffee.
Yeah, coffee or caffeine. Maybe not even caffeine. Maybe it's some kind of energy drink that you're craving all day long, that your body's just wanting something. And what could be missing is the vegetables.
True.
And we're eating too much of meat and sugar and flour and salt, and it's making us crave caffeine, for example.
Okay, good advice. Yeah, a lot of people don't realize the amount of sugar in these sports drinks, these coffee house drinks, when you start adding all the latte and date, and there's a lot of things I can't pronounce on the boards up there, but
Yeah, the macchiato.
Yeah, all the pumpkin spice stuff that's all big nowadays. I mean, there's a lot of calories, a lot of sugar in that as well, and so that, I guess that, your body begins to crave that as well.
Yes, especially, so it's all about habits. Humans we're habituatory creatures. We really want consistency, and what your taste buds are wanting and expecting consistency. But if we can do some things ahead of time and practice eating foods and the portions ahead of time, or giving moderation to our cravings, or foods that we tend to like, whether it's the macchiato or whatever,
Mm-hmm. Right.
then the body, can actually you can train your body to reduce the cravings for those things.
True story. I'll tell you. You like my story, so I have one more I'm going to throw in here. And true story. Speaking, I'll go with coffee. I used to have to put cream and sugar or milk or something in my coffee, and when I began to really look at the amount of sugar, calories, and things like that, I started drinking my coffee just black, straight. And I have to tell you, at first it was like, oh my goodness, how do people do this? But you do adjust, your taste adjusts. And now when I put sugar, I mean, I usually don't, but occasionally I'll get a coffee and it has sugar in it or whatnot. I mean, I can taste it immediately, and it just is no longer pleasant for me.
Wow.
I mean, yeah,
that's textbook, Mike.
Yeah, so that's
you trained your body.
Yeah, you can actually do that. It's possible.
You can train, and you can even see it in a lot of patients that really gravitate towards like meat, and really have a hard time with managing the meat food group.
Mm-hmm.
It's mostly because the body's not getting enough of the whole grains and the whole vegetables. And when we start introducing more vegetables, they start really, instead of craving meat or like in your case, you were craving sugar, you start craving the meat, and you start going towards you cannot go without the vegetables and the whole fruit throughout the day, because you need it. So you basically trained yourself into wanting to have a coffee that's natural.
I'll tell you what, this dietetics is just really, really interesting to me, and I want to talk just for a second. I can't believe it, Tabitha, but we're already beginning to run short of time here. But I want to talk about portion control. Tell me some tips or what you recommend for portion control, because I know that's been my problem and a lot of other people that I talk with, especially, these restaurant portions are just out of control nowadays. What do you have you can share with us on portion control?
Yes. So one thing about portions is that it's not just about the serving size, because servings are basically, you can go to one restaurant in the next restaurant, the serving is different. Each restaurant has a different serving. Each table has a different serving.
Mm-hmm.
Knowing the portions can be found on the choosemyplate.org or choosemyplate.gov, or really sitting down with us. We actually train you on how much is a portion for each of the food groups. So for the fruit group, half a cup is a portion.
Right.
And or the vegetables group, half a cup is a portion. Grains, 1 ounce of grain is a portion. And it's all based on how many grams of carbohydrate is in there or the actual size of the food. So 15 grams of carbs is a portion.
Okay.
And generally speaking, the female body can only absorb 45 grams of carbs in 4 hours.
Okay.
And that's pretty much how much you want as far as portions. The guys, 60 grams of carbs max in 4 hours. And of course, this is all just general because some females can absorb 60 because of their athletic stature when they come into the office. When we do their metabolism assessment, they need more calories, so we'll adjust that way. And some guys can only do 2 portions in 4 hours. So it just depends on body. Protein portions, 7 grams of protein is a protein portion. So when we talk about that, we're talking about the size of the hand being 3 portions. You know, you hear about the deck of cards and the size of the palm of the hand. Mm-hmm. That's not just 1 portion. That's 1 serving.
Okay.
That's 3 portions.
Okay. All
21 grams of protein.
Wow. Okay.
The female body can really absorb about 25 grams of protein in 4 hours, or 3 portions or 3.5 portions, and the guys can absorb about 5 portions in 4 hours. So that's in a nutshell.
I tell you what, Tabitha. So you're a wealth of information. I tell you. I tell you, we could talk about this. I could talk about this all day long, but unfortunately, we are running a little short of time. So I want to let everybody know again. First off, where they can find you, and that's Masters in Dietetics. Okay, in the Woodlands. You want to give out your address and maybe a phone number people can reach you at?
Sure. Everyone can reach us at 1-844-LEARN-TO-EAT or 1-844-532-7623. And you would call in and talk to Nicole Woodard. She'll be waiting for you to call. And you can also reach out to us on our website at mastersindietetics.com, and I look forward to meeting with you.
Yeah, that would be great, Tabitha. And like I said, I will also post that on my website, my Facebook. We'll get that out there on Facebook and everything, let people know. And like I said, I totally enjoyed talking with you and appreciate you being on the show today, taking time. I know we had talked about a few minutes talking, and here we go. We've talked a whole hour, but it's so interesting to me, and I think it's so helpful for a lot of people out there. I really do appreciate it, Tabitha.
Thank you for the invitation, and anytime, Mike. I really enjoy your show. Thank you.
Okay, thanks a lot. Well, give it up for Tabitha out there. Put your hands together for her. So we'll get her back on the show at another time. And we're going to take a break. So come on back to the Health Hour, and we'll wrap up with the restaurant reports and what's good in the grocery store. H.E.B coming up.
Lone Star Community Radio is Montgomery County's community radio station, and we're looking for more talk shows and volunteer DJs for our music shows. If you're interested in having your own talk show on Lone Star, or always wanted to live out your dream of being a music DJ, contact Lone Star Community Radio online at irlonestar.com/contact us, or call the station at 936-647-5747 for more information.
Hey, welcome back to the Health Hour. I'm Mike Sasser, and tell you what, we had a great guest on the show today, Tabitha Lenox with the Masters in Dietetics. Wonderful, wonderful information, and if you missed it, if you're just tuning in, you will be able to catch all that on the podcast. You can go to www.irlonestar.com and hear it, as well as I'll have a link on my website as well, mikesasser.com. All right, hey. Without further ado, I have the restaurants and I have 2 weeks worth here, so I have quite a few restaurants, and I like to keep it on the up and up. I want to talk about the restaurant reports and the restaurants in Montgomery County that scored 100 on their inspections over the last couple of weeks. So if you're ready, I'm ready, okay? And by the way, I know this is a health hour, but I like to give a pat on the back to all restaurants and the folks that work in these restaurants that do everything they can to keep the food and the restaurant itself in good sanitary condition. And, it's good for us. It's good for the public that eat at these locations. So first off, Raising Cane's there in the Woodlands on Research Road scored a 100%. It's A+. Another one, Burger King, there on 1097 in Willis, a 100%. Congratulations to you guys. All right, Starbucks. We were just talking about coffee and things, but Starbucks on Lake Woodlands Drive scored a 100%. So, if you go to these places, know that they are doing a good job of keeping things clean and on the uppity up with the health inspectors, all right? Another one, I need to check this place out because it sounds like a cool little sandwich shop and everything, and it's there in Montgomery. But the Skinny Pig in Montgomery, all right, town of Montgomery, scored a 100%. Got a great little menu. You can find them online and everything there. The IHOP on I-45 North in Spring also scored a 100%, as well as Papa John's Pizza on Rayford there, 100%. And BJ's Restaurant and Brew House there on I-45 also scored a 100%. So, give it up for these restaurants that are, like I said, doing a good job and keeping everything clean and healthy for us, the consumers who eat at these places, all right? And H.E.B, I am looking through here. Turkeys are already on sale. As we know, turkey is very good, lean meat for you, good protein. So you can catch some turkeys already on sale, as well as, there's produce just about every week, but this really caught my eye. And there's diets that are based on it, and but Texas grapefruits are on sale at H.E.B. Got a great price on them. They're in season. And they are just, good for fat burning and things like that. So take a look at your Kroger's, or excuse me, not your Kroger's, but your H.E.B. Ad this week. You can look at it online, as well as I stopped and picked up a ad paper and check it out. So they have a lot of great things on sale, okay? But, like I said, we had such a great show. We're running out of time, and I want to thank you for listening to the show today. The Health Hour is every Wednesday at 1 p.m. right here on Lone Star Community Radio. I'm Mike Sasser. If you have a question for me, please hit me up on my website at www.mikesasser.com. And we will be back next week with a whole new show, and we'll be live right here in the studio. So have a great week out there. Keep you and your family healthy and safe, and take care.
Thanks for checking out this production on Lone Star Community Radio, Montgomery County's radio station. For more information on this show and other shows on Lone Star, check us out online at irlonestar.com. If you're interested in sponsoring a program on Lone Star Community Radio and reaching the local audience of Montgomery County on FM, internet, and TV media, please call 936-647-5747 or contact us online at irlonestar.com. This recording is a Lone Star Community Radio production, produced by the show host and Dick Schisler of Lone Star Community Radio. Interested in volunteering as a music DJ or starting your own talk show? Contact Dick Schisler at dick@irlonestar.com or by phone at 936-647-5747.